I am going to take this opportunity to welcome um, everyone joining us for this another one of the amazing sessions from Michelle Shaw, who is with the student accessibility services on campus, and has been sharing so many wonderful things about making sure that everything that we do is as accessible as it is possible to make it. So thank you for joining us, Michelle.
Thank you. Well, welcome everyone. So today's session is basically for those who haven't used it or noticed it in your Canvas accounts already. So today is an overview of Ally, which is an app that is now in our Canvas accounts to provide accessibility for our students. And part of the reason I want to go over this is just so you know some of the features, and I want to also throw it out there. If you need help, we are here to help you. OIT and myself have been trying to train faculty as we go to give an overview of what you can do in the program. And so I don't want to scare anybody. It's really simple. But what we love about Ally is it provides the materials to our students in alternative formats that's going to meet their needs. So what I want to do first is kind of just give you an overview of the three parts of Ally. And then I want to actually show you how it works. I'm not teaching right now, but I did teach in the spring, so I can show you from my course, which I use a lot to train faculty with. So I'm gonna keep my slides the way they are instead of putting in the presentation format, because I do put some notes in there as well. And you are more than welcome to download this PowerPoint. It's not a secret. So please feel free, if you want to have a copy of it and share it with colleagues, go right ahead. So as I stated, Ally has three-part solution for Canvas. So there's the alternative formats, which is where the students get to choose what format of the material they're going to download. This does not change the content of the document. It just makes the particular document accessible for them. It also provides instructor feedback. And this is really good because you can go in and you can find out what documents are not accessible. And then it also gives you instructions on how to make it accessible. So it's really user friendly. And from my pilot group, I had 12 faculty members participate in a pilot group starting last fall over into the spring semester. Got a lot of really good feedback. We created a lot of um, documents for them, like guides on how to do certain things to help them make their documents accessible. And we got a lot of positive feedback. The last report is our institutional report. And what we love about that is it gives us data. And this data is very, very useful. As you all know, we are always trying to meet the needs of our matrix because that's what helps fund the university. And so we're looking at, what types of alternative formats are students downloading? What are they using? But it's also providing us feedback on what courses are not accessible or not up to par of being accessible. And so that we can actually target those areas to work with faculty to help them make their documents accessible. I will remind everyone, it does not do captioning of videos. It's only creating accessible documents, so not the video content. If you have video content that needs to be captioned, we will be doing a session on that hopefully in the fall on how to do a quick and easy version of creating captions. So what we find by using the alternative formats is it can help improve student study habits. And this particular program is available for all students, not just our students that need accessible versions, any student. And we found for it to be really, really beneficial for our students that English is not their first language, for students that maybe are working full time, or maybe they're taking care of their children or an elderly relative. And so they have very little downtime to do things. And so maybe the best time for them to read an article is when they're driving to go pick up their kids, or they're going to the grocery store or going to work. And so they can actually download like an MP3 version of the document and listen to it on their phone, in their car, while they're working out, however that works for them. The tag PDF, that's the one we use the most for our students with disabilities that are using assistive technology and what we call screen readers. But other students might find that useful too because they can listen through the read aloud where the document will read to you. There's also the EPUB version, which students that are using tablets, they find that very useful to be able to download the article to be able to listen. To read. And then it can also create electric braille, which is really beneficial for our students that are blind and that use braille technology in order to be able to access material. And I've got some little images on here, and these are alt tags so that, if you click on them with a screen reader, it'll tell you what they are. This is what we call a braille reader. This weighs less than 5 pounds, and it's like a laptop for the blind. It's the best way to give you an overview of what it is. With that electronic braille download, they're able to read whatever document is on your Canvas account using that machine. And it raises braille to provide the information. It's really, really cool. So, and I apologize for that. There's not much in the way of visuals on here. I try to keep them limited. So for instructor feedback, what it does is it provides an accessibility report. It's all the way at the bottom, and I'm going to show you as I demonstrate it. It's going to give you like what your scale is of right now. And I don't want people to be scared when they go on and it says you're 46%. That just means you've got way to go up. And that's a positive thing. No one's going to be at 100%. I'm not at 100%. I purposely am not at 100% because I want to use it to show faculty how to do it. But for some of our other faculty, I talked to one of my pilot group members last week, and she's up to 85%. I know my one colleague over in criminal justice, I think he was up to like 95%, and his goal is to be at 100. There's like a little bit of a competition going on between my pilot group faculty. But I don't want you to think that you have to be at 100% right away. This is a learning curve, and the fact that we now have it and you can use it to make your course more accessible for everyone, we just need to use the tools, and you do it in your time. So, but if you're going to get a student in your class that may be needing this, you might want to reach out to us, and we can maybe help you get some of those important documents done. So besides telling you what needs to be fixed and where you're at, it also provides you guidance on how to fix it. So it will give you the content that's an easy fix and the ones that are low scoring. The ones, if you do a low scoring one, will help your number go up quicker. But the ones that are quick fix, you're going to get more done in a short period of time. So you kind of hit where you want to go on that particular area. It's very user-friendly. Sometimes you might have to download the document to fix it. That sometimes happens with Word because you're missing a header or the box does not have a readable header in like a chart. Like especially when we do our grades, usually the header where we have this an A, you have to get this grade, this between 196 to get an A minus, you have to be a 94 to a 91. Sometimes that won't read if you haven't put a header into that little chart graph. So those are usually things you just download, you fix it in Word, and then you re-upload it, and it'll tell you that it's good. But I'm going to show you a couple of those things, so don't get nervous. We do have on the web page for OIT, they have an ally page with some resources, and they are providing training as well. But I also throw myself out there. If faculty need some assistance, we will try to help them as well. I'll just give you a warning. The first couple weeks of the fall semester is usually what we call crazy land. Like we don't know whether we're coming or going because we have a lot of students registering at last minute. And we also have a lot of alternative text to do and getting captioning done for videos for classes. So I just want to make sure you guys know probably the first 3 weeks of the semester, not so much, but after that, we'd be more than happy to meet with you. So for the institutional reporting, as I said before, it just gives us a very detailed understanding on how our institution is doing on accessibility. Now, this is not something that I have access to, you have access to. This is usually, I believe it's the provost office and OIT. And then they're going to be the ones who say, okay, we need to help this department out because they're really struggling on accessibility. And we can target reaching out to those particular departments to help them be on board for getting their documents accessible. So that's a really good thing. And over time, it can help us track so we can see where we were and where we're going. And this is really important for us to show that we're really gung-ho for student success and trying to make sure that we not only get our student coming to FAU, but retaining those students, getting them graduated in 4 years, all part of that matrix. So we call it the universal design of access for all. My next thing that I wanted to do is just demonstrate what it is, looking from a student's perspective to a faculty perspective. So I can show you what it looks like if you haven't noticed it, because it is all the way down at the bottom when you're on your page in Canvas. And then I'll do a couple of short, how to fix something. So this is my class from the spring of 2022, which was art for elementary school. So this was, I didn't design the course. My boss over in the College of Ed designed the course, and I just taught it for her because she wasn't able to teach it. This was a completely online course. So I've been playing with this one when it comes to accessibility. So I'm going to go into student view first, and then I'll go into the faculty view and show you the accessibility report next. So for a student view, when it comes in, so this is just the same course, but giving it into a view of what the student will see. So if you could see here, this is the syllabus, and there's a little arrow with kind of like a little boat below it. If you click on this, you can see it says preview, download, and alternative formats. If you click on alternative formats, it gives you all of these options. And so the student is able to make a decision, oh, I want to get an audio version of that. Click on it and download. And this is going to take a minute because this is our syllabi in the College of Education are very long. They're usually like 14, 15 pages long. So it would take a while. But once it's done, it's going to download an MP3 file to the student's desktop or laptop, whatever they're using. And now they're able to listen to the audio version on that. So I'm gonna hit cancel because it's gonna take a while. Just because it's long. But you could do it for any of these things. So the electronic braille, the EPUB, HTML, which is really good for when they're using their mobile devices on their phones. The tagged PDF, as I said before, is what our students with disabilities use because for them, when it's tagged PDF, it means it's OCR, which is ocular character recognition, and it will read them in order of the actual PDF for them without them having to see it, especially our students with low vision. But we have a lot of students with reading disorders or auditory processing that prefer this format of a document. But this is for all students, not just our students. This is all students. And this is on every single document that we have. And I'm trying to see if I can go into, show you another example. I could show you can see it also as a faculty member. So you could come in here and you could click on a unit. And the same thing is here. So this is the objectives, the readings, everything you can download as an alternative format. Even the faculty have access to it. So I don't know about you guys, but I know for me, sometimes my schedule is crazy busy and I can listen to an article maybe while I'm doing something that doesn't really need my full attention, which I know some people say that's not a good thing to do, but there's only so many hours in a day. I love the MP3 versions to be able to listen to an article during the time. So for the faculty side, so this is my faculty Canvas account. If I scroll all the way down here on the bottom, there is the accessibility report right here. And like I said, it's all the way down at the bottom, but that's okay. Now you know it's there if you didn't know it was there before. So you click on it. And we give it a minute. It's doing its calculations. So it comes here and it gives me a report. So you see right now I'm at 76%. When I took this course, when I started it last spring, it was at like a 47%. So I did work on it quite a bit because I wanted my kids to be my guinea pigs with it. But I purposely have kept some not fixed so that I can use it to demonstrate for faculty. So you'll see here, it'll tell me there's image files, Word document, there's a page issue, discussion topics, assignments. So there's some accessibility issues going on here. It tells me how many there are. It tells me what my easy fixes are and what my low scoring content is. So you could click on this one is the quick fixes, and it's going to tell me. And a lot of these are image files. So if you don't create an alternative text, and I did a demonstration on this last time, we had a session which you may not have been at, but you missed a good one. The alternative text gives a visual description to an individual that is not able to see. And that could be due to being blind or low vision. So the easy fix to do, if you click on it, you can kind of see what it is. So this is an example of our marbling journal that they did. You can write the image here, a description of it. And you don't want it to write an essay. You just kind of want to give a brief description that somebody that is not able to see would kind of get an understanding of what it is. So I just wrote in a description, I wrote marbling journal example. That's really all they need to know. This is an activity that we do in class that we actually create a book, but the cover is made out of marble paper, which is an exercise that we do with shaving cream, of all things, but it works really well. And so I'm just going to add that description. And it usually takes it a minute. Oh, there it goes. See, now it's 100%. See how I mean by a quick fix. So I'm going to hit close on there. So then it brings me back to the main page. And it didn't make much of a difference here. But over time, if you do a few of those, it's going to change. So I'm going to do another one really quick. So let me do this one. So this is an example of a mosaic. So this is a student's description. So for this class, the students have to create a portfolio of all of the art projects that they do in the course. That's all connected to teaching about other subjects using the art. And at the end, they have to put in a little description about the art project and what they liked about it. And so I just put in here, this is the student's description with example of her mosaic art project from her e-portfolio. And it's just to kind of give an example. We could type in all of this, but it's kind of irrelevant because it's her feelings and her opinions of the art project. It's not really relevant to their project. So that's kind of what you have to look at. What is the importance? What are you sharing? So this is just an example from her e-portfolio. I hope that makes sense. So let me do one of the other ones for you. So that's the quick fixes. So there's a lot of images in this course. Not my course per se, but there was a lot of images in there. And like I said, it took a while to get some of those down. So this one says content with the easiest issues to fix. So you could click on this one. And again, it's going back to images because there's a lot of images. But I was trying to see if I could find another one for you. And I had one before, and now I don't know where I put it. Try to get out of the images for you. So you can keep clicking on the pages and go up to see. So far, mostly are. Okay, we have a Word document. Let's go in here. So this one right now is at 68%. So this is one of those that you're going to have to download. And this is a normal problem. It's the grading table that we have in our syllabi. It doesn't read because it hasn't got a header in it. And so it actually gives you clues here. What does this mean and how to set table headers? And if you click on it, it will actually ask what type of word do you have. and then you have to download it. So that's what we'll do. We're going to download the document. And then if you're not quite sure how to do it, it actually tells you here how to go ahead and do it. So we're going to try to do that right now. And this one, this is an old syllabus. And so this is one of those things, you might have stuff that are showing up in your Canvas account that's really old. This is from 2017. Like, I don't even know why it's still there. It shouldn't be. But it's in the files that the faculty have stored. You have that little file folder in Canvas. And that's kind of why this is showing up. But I could just easily delete it from the file and I wouldn't have to fix it. So, but that's going to be your decision to make. It's not my decision to make. And this is, like I said, this is technically not my class. It belongs to my supervisor over there and I don't want to do it. So you could come over here and we got to go into, here we go, header. So usually it's already checked on it, believe it or not. I usually try to change the box too to make it look pretty, but that's just me. And I'm going to change it to white because it looks nicer, but not the rest of it. I am an art major background, so I like things to look pretty. It'll be easier to read. So right now, this is already set on the header. The header row is already in there, and we have the actual, the headings in here, so it should potentially work. But if we want to double check, so we can go back to, go back in here. So we've checked the header. And then, oh yeah, I forgot we have to go into rows. See, I haven't done it in a while. Let me go back into my Word document. So we need to go into the rows. So you could come in here, and I'm going back because now I really have to question myself because it's been a while. So you're going to row tab, repeat as header row tab on each page, and then click OK. So we go back into our Word document and repeat. So it's that one little checkbox right here. Repeat as header row at the top of each page. So we say OK, and now I save. Right now it's in my download folder so I could remember. So now I can come back and I need to get back to my original. I'm going to close that. So I don't need him anymore. I'm going to re-upload. We wait to see the magic. And I'm hoping it's going to go to 70 to 100%, but I don't know if there's anything else in there that's going to mess it up. And you can see right here, it's working on it. So see, it's now a 75%, so something else is up. And so this is the trial and error that we go through. So it's telling me there's another table.
Oh, yes.
So we got to do the same thing with this one. So I could go back and I wanted to do this because I wanted you to see how to do it because you get so excited. When I first started doing it, I was like, oh, I'm all done. And then I wasn't. And I was like, oh man, what now? And so you kind of get a little irritated with it. But after a while, it just gets so easy. So we're going to do the same thing again. We're going to go to table properties, make sure we repeat as header at the top of each row, hit OK. You can make it look pretty. I'm always one for making it look pretty. And you can see from our syllabi, and this table is not the best table, by the way, that it's not formatted very well. Hit save. But again, this is what they call a core syllabus. If it was mine, I would delete it, but it's not. So I'm going to try to upload it again and wait and see where it's up to. But every single thing you'll see, it will tell you what accessibility issues may be. PDFs are probably one of the bigger ones, and I need a whole session to teach you on how to make an accessible PDF. It's not a quick and easy fix, depending on whether it's an image file or not. So I will plan. So now it's telling me it's even less accessible.
Oh, I love it. That's funny.
So yeah, so you feel my pain on that one.
I
So
I have been there.
so this is the one that could be a pain in the tushy sometimes. So it's, and I think it doesn't help that it's also got all the comments in there as well. So it doesn't like it. See, there's another table as well. So we have to fix that one. Um, and I wanted to try to get to 100%, but I probably picked the worst one to do in the world on this one. But this way you can actually see it in action. So I'm going to just undo what I did before. Table properties. So we're making sure it's still checked. It's not checked anymore. I'm going to fix the actual layout. Go back to the original. Whoops, that's not the original. Back to the original. At least I want to be able to show it to you. And hopefully we can get it up a wee bit. It's just a bad, whoever did that, it's like they put piecemeals of a table together. And this one, I'm not quite sure because it doesn't seem to be registering as, well, maybe I can get in. All right, we'll try that. And we'll save again. Like that. Close it. I'm going to go back. But like I said, as long as you're improving, 75% is a lot better than it was before. So look at it in that respect. So we'll see if we can get it to go above 75% now. But I personally would go through my course, and anything that you don't need, get rid of, get it out of there. You could always save it on a jump drive or something, just in case you might need it another time. But if you're not going to be using it, don't keep it there, because if you do, it's going to tell you to make it accessible, even though the students may not be using it. So you can see we got it up to 83%. So, if you do need help with the PDS, you can let us know. You can reach out. I did put my contact information here. And this is my personal cell phone. And I tell people, if you do want to reach out to me on the cell phone, it's always best to text and tell me who you are. Because usually my phone is, the ringer's off, especially if I'm with a student. I don't want my phone ringing, but I will get back to you. So just feel free to write that down. And my email is here. It's just mshaw@health.fau.edu. And like I said, OIT has a ton of resources on their webpage. We've created some guides. They've put them on there as well. And we're trying to go to different departments to give some accessibility training. We've already done the College of Nursing. I've got the College of Business Communication Department one coming up this month. I know Criminal Justice wants us to come, and the College of Social Work. So if you have a department and you can get me into your staff meeting, I will come on over and do some basic training for you. You're not alone, because getting you guys to be a part of this on making everything be accessible, it's not just good for my students, it's good for all of our students. And we really want to give everybody the tools and the equal access they need to be successful. And then what they do with that is up to them. But we've given it to them in an alternative format versions that will work for them. And so I know a lot of students have said like I've got a few students that work and they love the MP3s versions. It's just a much easier for them to be able to do the work that they need to do. So,
And Donna, thank you for your uh, involvement, your interest, and your enthusiasm. Thank you.